Oh, yeah. See that 4K? I got 4K 30. I got 4K 60. Now, when you look at it, you can see the left one is jittery. You can see that. See how jittery that is. You know? But the iPhone X, the only reason why I upgrade is for the camera at this point. Because other than that, I would just... No, the 8 Plus has it too. It's just that this one has the faster processor now, you know? But the 8 Plus, I think, has it too. But one of these things gets like 2 hours more battery life.
I want a GoPro.
GoPro? No, GoPro doesn't have the power that these things have. Despite all of the Android fanboys who want to talk up the OnePlus and the Razer phones and the Galaxy 9 Note and this, that, and other, the simple fact of the matter is that when you compare the benchmarks of these phones on paper, some of them actually have temporary advantages against Apple's brand newest iPhone. Specifically, I'm talking about the iPhone X. But in real life use, iPhone continues to be the most preferred smartphone, especially when it comes to uploading videos and images on social media. Now, the reason for that is very simple. It's because Apple's environment, iMovie, plus this 4K 60 frame per second camera, it's so ridiculously cohesive that when you really think about it, I built my entire YouTube channel using Apple iPhone and iMovie. iMovie, a $5 app, has paid me back thousands of times when you really think about it. And I should be crossing, if I have not crossed already, 40,000 subscribers on nothing but iPhone videos. So I want you to think about it. While there's some people who are busy buying GoPros and buying drones and attaching cameras to the back of their ass, the simple fact of the matter is, here I am, I'm building an entire YouTube channel doing nothing but shooting videos from a damn cell phone from my pocket. The only thing I ever had to really add to that was a Mophie power station, which I've showed you in some videos, which allows you to keep the phone charged up to 4 times. I'm the only one on YouTube who has shot videos that are more than 4 hours in length of the New York International Audio Show, or shot travelogues directly off my phone and was able to finalize them directly off my phone. So for me, the Apple iPhone XS Max 512 gigabyte, regardless how expensive you feel it is, oh yeah, well I could pay my mortgage with that money. I could buy a used car with that money. I could buy 20 pounds of crystal meth from my mom and my sis with that money. Regardless what you think you can't afford or whatever, understand that for me, this is nothing more than an investment into the future, the next year or so of video making. And for me, ordering one of these things was basically the same as if you were a businessman ordering a computer or ordering a brand new digital photography camera. And when you really think about it, if you're doing professional camera work, any camera you would buy is gonna cost between $1,000 and $2,000. Like one of those Canon Rebel EOS's or whatever. I don't know anything about those things because I haven't paid attention to a point and shoot camera in years. I haven't paid attention to those SLR cameras, and I know those cost way more. So basically, without belaboring the point, as you can see, I ordered my iPhone XS Max Space Gray. Some people ask me, why didn't you get the gold one? The reason why I didn't get the gold one is because I really didn't want gold. In fact, the last time I deviated from a black or silver was when I had the rose gold iPhone 7 Plus 256 gigabyte, and I only bought that because it was the last one I could get. So I rocked it for a year. It didn't bother me. It was actually kind of interesting to have something different. But this time I have a Space Gray. I didn't bother going for the gold because I just didn't want it. So Space Gray, 512 gigabyte. When Apple put the iPhone X out, I have to say that originally I was a little upset about the change in form factor and the change in size, because the iPhone X was only like a little bit bigger than the regular iPhone, and it wasn't as big as the Plus model. But after having used this thing for a year, I can absolutely say that I absolutely loved the size of the iPhone X. In fact, I almost fell in love with it when I first started using it because it fit in my hand, it fit in my cup holder in my car, it was more comfortable, it never gave me hand cramps. It was a lot easier to use in that respect. However, to be painfully honest, the worst thing Apple has done was take away Touch ID and take away the fingerprint scanner home button. I think that fingerprint scanner home button was probably the best addition to any Apple device that they've ever made, and removing it was a complete mistake. When you use Face ID, and I might have mentioned this, Face ID is never consistent and it's not as fast as Touch ID. In fact, if you think back, Touch ID on the iPhone 6S was so fast until they had to actually slow it down. And the reason why was because on the 6S, when you would touch that button, it would open the phone right away instantaneously. And that would mean that you never had a chance to read your notifications. So basically, when you went to the phone to check for what new notifications you had, as soon as you touched that button, the whole phone unlocked and it went straight past notifications. That is the reason why they redesigned it so that now if you unlock the phone, unlocking the phone allows you to read your notifications, and then you have to do some other gesture or whatnot in order to open the phone up so that you can get inside the phone. Now, personally, I won't complain about the 6S because I actually enjoyed being able to open the phone instantaneously. I thought that was amazing. However, them slowing it down so that you actually can read your notifications first is cool too. Because if you think about it, let's say you're a guy and you got a girlfriend who's snooping through your phone. She can't see your notifications as they come in because the phone's not unlocked. Now, granted, if you've got, because I know bitches that'll force you to put their thumbprint in your phone, or they'll force you to scan their face on your phone too, and you ain't got no choice. But like when your phone is laying there, that she will go right in your phone, open that shit up because she don't trust your ass, and that means she's probably cheating on you somewhere on the side anyway. Bottom line is this: I like the fact that nobody can see your notifications as they come in until the phone's unlocked. Now, I really, really think that the worst thing Apple did, the worst thing they did, and the reason why I can't give the iPhone X 5 stars is because they took out the goddamn home button and they took out the fingerprint scanner. They could have moved it to the back of the phone where they have the Apple logo, and they could have put the fingerprint scanner under the Apple logo and let you just touch it with the back of your hand. They could have done that. I think the last phone that I used like that was either the Stylo 4 or the J6 I bought my girlfriend. There's no reason why I can't have Touch ID and have Face ID. There's no reason why at all. As you can see here, I like the size of it because it fits in my cup holder nice, and it fits in standard cup holders very nice. Now, I had a problem with the Plus model iPhone 8 because it didn't fit in that cup holder, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have the same problem all over again with this Max iPhone 512. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have that exact same problem. But I really think that that's the only thing that held the iPhone X back from total glory. Now, all of these people who like to go on YouTube and, oh, yeah, well, the OnePlus outranks the iPhone and the Galaxy Note 9 has less image noise and it's... Listen, all that bullshit don't matter to me one goddamn bit. Benchmark, if you have to look at benchmarks just to say that one thing's better than the other, then that means that you're in this game for the wrong reasons. The sad thing about it is the Apple phones, every single year, they dominate the news from September onwards to about, basically onwards to about freaking summer. And all the Android people are busy dominating each other's space because the problem is Apple really does not have a real competitor. iOS is an operating system that has no equal, just like Windows is an operating system that has no equal. Now, you always get these fringe lunatics, oh yeah, well, Linux is better. If you use Linux, it only uses 1% of your memory. So if you have 128 gigabytes of memory, it only uses like a small smidgen, and you could program how to land a moon rover on Mars. It's like, guys, you fringe lunatics, nobody gives a fuck about overclocking a phone. Nobody gives a goddamn about, oh yeah, well, my phone is so powerful, I can run Quake Champions. Nobody cares about any of that shit. It's like when the apps come available for these phones that have been tested, that are bug-free, that work, that's when we'll worry about it. Nobody cares about how you're overclocking the memory on your phone. Nobody cares. And I also want to say it like this. And I've been arguing with one dude about the OnePlus specifically, and then you got some other jackass that'll say, oh yeah, well, the Pixel's better than the OnePlus because the camera's better. It's got wider resolution pixels. And then you'll get somebody else, oh, no, the Samsung 9 is better because the Samsung 9 has a 4,000 milliamp battery and it's able to It's like, you Android people, you guys can fight amongst yourselves. We Apple users are on our own little island over here, and we're just chilling. You guys, you can fight each other, and we'll just stay over here with our Apple devices, and we're going to chill out over here. Because Android compared to iPhone, there is no comparison. In fact, Samsung is terrified of what would happen if they tried to make a $1,600 iPhone, or if they tried to make an equivalent of the XS Max. Samsung, when you go to Asia, and you got all 4 billion plus people, you go to Asia, even when I was in the Philippines, I was able to buy a Samsung J6 for like, what was it, $230. You saw that video where I was in the Philippines and I bought a phone over there. And the thing about it is, that thing was only like $230. The LG Stylo 4, for instance, is another Android phone, and you get it for like less than $50 if you get one of them rebates. Yeah, I understand that the Android market has a higher market share than Apple, but the simple fact of the matter is, the Android market is composed of thousands of Android phone makers all fighting each other for a little bit of profit. And meanwhile, Apple is a $1 trillion company because of people like me who say, nah, I don't want none of that Android trash. I'm going to get me this phone over here that's $1,600. And I know it hurts. I know you guys are upset that nobody cares about your phone. I know you're upset that nobody's thinking about the OnePlus. And I know you're upset that nobody cares about the Galaxy, whatever. I understand that you're upset about that. I understand that you're disappointed that what's going to ultimately happen, as you've already seen, all of these Android makers are slowly but surely going to try to keep making their phones just like Apple. Like, take a look. If you look at all these new Android phones, what have they done? They've sealed up their battery compartments so that you can't change your battery. Most of these new Android phones have. And then in most cases, they've sealed up the memory so that you can't change your memory or expand your memory. Now, I believe Galaxy phones did that with the Galaxy 5 or the Galaxy 6. I honestly don't remember because I don't pay attention to them. But with the new ones, the battery compartment is sealed because they don't want you buying shitty, cheap batteries on eBay that might set the shit on fire. And then I think it was either the Galaxy 7 or the Galaxy 8 where they were having problems where the shit was exploding in people's pockets. So for the most part, they don't want to take a risk that you're going to buy a faulty battery. They just don't want to take that risk. Apple did it right in the very beginning. They said, listen, we're going to build these phones. We're going to seal up this battery compartment. We're going to control the battery experience. We're going to control the memory experience. And ultimately, that's just what they did. So you got to deal with it. So again, painfully honest review. The worst thing they did was they took away the Touch ID and the home button. Because they did that, Face ID is not always accurate. Sometimes it'll recognize me if I have my sunglasses on. Sometimes it won't. It will never open up if my eyes are closed. And that's just where it is. So basically, my phone is ordered. My pickup is Friday. I will have iPhone XS Max review done on Friday. I will probably have to do the review using my old iPad 4th generation or something, since the camera on that can help me, to record the other thing or whatever. But my iPhone X 256 gigabyte is selling on eBay for above $800. I'm not going to accept anything less than about $850. But what the buyers on eBay don't realize is that instead of paying the full $1,250 for my iPhone, I only paid $970. And that was completely unlocked, able to run Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint. So that's just where I am. And if you tune back in on Friday, you will definitely see my iPhone XS Max 512 gigabyte review then. Until then, all of the Android people, what you guys can do is you guys can go argue on somebody else's channel about how many mortgages you can pay with $1,600. And you can argue about how many used cars you could buy with $1,600. And you can just fight amongst yourselves. I mean, there's Razer phones, there's OnePluses, there's Galaxy this, there's Galaxy that, there's J6, there's J8, whatever. Nobody cares. LG Stylo 4, there'll be LG Stylo 5 later. I just want to get across to you the point that you can make fun of the quote-unquote Apple sheep who actually have that kind of money to spend and choose iPhone, all the businessmen who choose iPhone over Android. You can make fun of us all you want, but the very end of the day, I just want you to understand, when it comes to whatever Android phone you're using, I just want you to understand, I don't care.